Hi, I'm Emily Board, and today the Constitution Society is looking at how power is devolved from Westminster to the nations and regions of the UK. After a referendum in 1997, powers were devolved to the Welsh Government and the Senedd, or Welsh Parliament, to make decisions on issues like health, education, the environment, transport, and the Welsh language. And since another referendum in 2011, Wales can make laws on devolved issues without needing approval from Westminster. But Wales is still part of the United Kingdom, and the Westminster government reserves powers over issues like foreign policy and defence, and policing and justice. Welsh devolution has changed a lot over the years, and from 2026, the number of MSs, members of the Senedd, will go up from 60 to 96. And the people of Wales will use a proportional list system to elect them, instead of the additional member system, which has been in use since 1999. So Welsh devolution looks set to continue evolving.
Hello, my name is David McCann. I'm standing outside Stormont, which is the home of the Northern Ireland Assembly and the Northern Ireland Executive. Since the signing of the Good Friday Agreement in 1998, Northern Ireland has had, in theory, powers devolved back to here over issues such as healthcare, education, infrastructure, but due to our power sharing structures, which require unionists and nationalists to share power, we have not had a functional assembly for 40% of that time. When Stormont is sitting, it takes decisions on all of the key issues that matter to the people of Northern Ireland. But it is important to note that it's not an independent legislature. Issues such as taxation and defence and foreign affairs are still decided by the British government at Westminster. And even though we do have devolution here, issues such as welfare reform and welfare powers have been handed back in some instances by the Northern Ireland Executive. There are 90 members of the Northern Ireland Assembly. They are elected across 18 constituencies using the single transferable vote system. And Northern Ireland is the most unique assembly across the UK because of our power sharing structures. Unionists and nationalists have to come together in order to make decisions that will benefit the people. The next Assembly elections are due in 2027, where the 90 people who will form the executive and the power sharing structures will meet behind me and make decisions for the benefit of everyone in Northern Ireland.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Haig, and I'm here outside the Scottish Parliament in Holyrood, Scotland's national legislature. Since devolution following the 1997 referendum, Scotland has had its own parliament and government, responsible for lots of the decisions that affect our day-to-day lives here. Issues like the NHS in Scotland, transport, policing, justice, all of these things are devolved to our parliament. And in short, lots of the decisions that affect our day-to-day lives are made right here. That being said, we're still part of the United Kingdom, and there are some matters that are reserved, that are still left to be decided at Westminster. Things like the Constitution, foreign policy and defence. The Scottish Parliament is made up of 129 MSPs, members of the Scottish Parliament. These are elected under the additional members system, where they combine constituent votes with proportional representation to better reflect the needs of the country. Inside the building, politicians from various different parties debate issues and hold the government to account. Devolution has allowed us to take our own path on many different issues while still being part of the UK.
Hi, I'm KJ Smith and I'm stood here in a very windy Liverpool outside the Liverpool Combined Authority headquarters. Since 2017, the Liverpool City region has had a Metro Mayor who leads the Combined Authority made up of 6 local councils. This role was created as part of the devolution deal between local leaders and the UK government. And it's similar to many of the other Metro Mayor deals across England. The Metro Mayors have a responsibility for a variety of different areas. They're responsible for things like transport, housing, economic development and skills training. So, for example, that means the Metro Mayor here in Liverpool is in charge of doing things like bus routes, apprenticeships, building projects, etc. Mayors don't make city regions entirely independent from Westminster though. Things like taxation, foreign policy, national security and immigration still sit firmly within the remit of Westminster and the Westminster government though. Here, the Metro Mayor is elected by residents from beyond just the Liverpool City region itself, and the Mayor is elected through a first-past-the-post system. English devolution as a whole is still evolving, and the powers held by the Metro Mayor here are still far different to those held by the devolved legislatures in Scotland and Wales. But who knows what the future might hold for English devolution.